If you break it down, every art form tells a story. The beats of hip-hop, the verses of a poem, that song that plays long after it stops playing, all are driven by a narrative. Without an inherent story, no art has meaning, nor does it have context. Effective storytellers teach us to be true to ourselves. That's why every week on Teachers' Genuine Stories, we travel across the country to bring these very storytellers to you. Thank you. Now, it might sound slightly cheesy to start things off with a guessing game, but this one time, indulge me. So who said this? I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. I can bet you will never guess. That was Albert Einstein. Now, you probably thought a man of science wouldn't have a musical bone in his body. But here's the thing about great music or a great song that stays with you. It's transformative. It makes you happier, sadder, maybe more contemplative, or just gets you in the mood to shake things up. Songs are stories that draw us into their world, and by extension, the musician becomes the medium through which we find genuine stories. Today, on Teachers' Genuine Stories, our storyteller and musician brings to life the words of her mother. It's a story that took me into another world, a gentler, quieter, and more meditative one.
किस मोड़ की तलाश में तू किस ओर चला है तू किथे चलिया मुसाफिरा तू है राह ये अनजाना क्या है तेरा फसाना किस मोड़ की तलाश में तू लाया मोहब्बतां दूर दराजे दराजे अखियां तो होया कसूर है अखियां तो होया कसूर माए नी मेरी जमुए दी राही चंबा कितनी दूर है चंबा कितनी दूर चंबा कितनी दूर है चंबा कितनी दूर.
Hi Jasleen, how are you doing?
Hi Rahul, it's so nice to meet you.
Thanks. Oh, this is lovely.
I've always admired your work so much, been a big fan, and I can't believe I'm meeting you in person.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. What's exciting about this show is that I get to meet so many new people who are today telling stories in ways that are so different and so organic and almost original.
Thank you so
Where
much.
your stories come from, how they first started, where they're developing now, the different languages, all of that. So I'm just going to dive into it because the one question I've been meaning to ask is, I know that you composed your first song at the age of 6?
5 or 6, I would have been 5 or 6 years old, yes.
I think I just learned the alphabet at the time.
I think you take modesty to another level.
But how did that happen? And of course I know the songs. I just want you to share it for all the people who don't.
The song's called Chidiya. And this is a poem that I had when I was in school. I used to do this a lot as a little girl, you know. I never used to read things. I would switch off and I wasn't able to concentrate very well. So I would sing things that I would read. आखिर जब मैं आसमान में उड़ी दूर तक पंख पसार तभी समझ में मेरे आया कितना बड़ा है ये संसार बहुत बड़ा है ये संसार बहुत बड़ा है ये संसार तभी समझ में मेरे आया कितना बड़ा है ये संसार तभी समझ में मेरे आया कितना बड़ा है ये संसार.
So this becomes the first song you've ever composed.
And
were you even aware that you had composed the song?
I guess I was aware of it because I came and I told my mother and my grandmother. I sang it for them and I said, oh, you know, this sounds nice, this is catchy. And I think that's where they saw that I had potential in me, or, you know, maybe they were just being very polite.
Amazing. I mean, no, amazing to have a 6-year-old kid come and say, hi, you know, I've composed this song and it's based on this wonderful poem. And to choose a poem that is not Baba Black Sheep, but that is something that is so profound, and to absorb that meaning, I think is quite extraordinary.
In fact, even as a little girl, Polly had given me this tape recorder, a very old Sanyo tape recorder. And there was a little corner in the gallery and I would sit there and that was my make-believe studio. I'd even designed a logo and all of that. So whenever I'd come back from school, that's all I would ever want to do, sit there, record something. Then when I went to college, school, we used to have those, you know, the Walkman.
Yeah.
With the cassettes and stuff.
Of course.
So I would keep that handy, you know, and always keep recording tunes as they came to me.
Right. At what point of time do you now, what is that turning point, that moment that tips you into saying, I'm doing this as a profession?
I think when I really realized that I could take music up professionally was when I stumbled upon my mother Polly's diary. It was this diary, it was just lying on the coffee table and I sort of flipped through the pages, not with the intention of prying or anything. It had old bills and, you know, to-do lists and all sorts of things, just like a regular diary, not a diary which one specifically writes for poetry or songs or anything. And then in that diary, I found this poem called Supna, and Supna means a dream. And this song she had written about female feticide, dowry deaths, things like that we hear about all over, especially in our country. So that really moved me, and without asking her, I composed a tune.
What was her reaction?
She was surprised, pleasantly surprised, I think. And after that, she said that she'd start sharing her stuff with me because she'd been writing other things as well. So ever since we've just formed a home team, and now we co-compose as well.
So now that you've brought up Polly, I love the way you call your mom Polly.
I feel that this is another thing more so in our country and all, where people, you know, when they talk about somebody as, like, for example, whenever she's introducing me to somebody, she'll always say, this is my daughter, Jasleen. And here it's always, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, and this is my mother. It's like this other person doesn't have an identity other than being someone's mother or father.
Fantastic.
And she's also, you know, like my best friend, sister, father, everything.
It's not disrespect that makes you call her Polly.
All, no.
It's the recognition that she is a living, breathing, independent entity on her own.
Absolutely.
Every musician has a diplomatic answer to give to this. So I'm hoping it'll be something a little sharper than that. Out of the songs you've done, which are your favorite children?
My favorite is Chamba is a song that's very close to my heart. It's a Dogri folk song to begin with. And then it got really popular in Himachal as well. She said, Rab di is jannat da nazara ki kenda hai.
ਜੀ
ਨਦੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਖੂਨ ਪਿਆ ਵਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਭਣ ਦਾ ਹਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹਿਆ ਮੀਨਸ ਕਰੇਜ देखती ही रह जाती हूँ मैं किधर नू जासा हूँ मैं कहाँ को जाऊँ मैं माए नी मेरी है जमुए दी राही चंबा कितनी दूर
I'd love to meet Polly if she's happy to meet us.
Oh, she'd be so happy to meet you.
Brilliant.
Yes,
So
she's in the outhouse, I think.
Okay.
Would you like to head there?
Perfect.
All right.
Jasleen is one of a new breed of artists who are deeply, genuinely dedicated to their art form. She is one of the few who is devoted to her music, who feels the lyrics, and then with her mother, brings it all to life for us. Since I've read up a little bit about you, you actually sometimes dream of tunes?
Yes, I do. I sometimes feel they're not even mine. They're
That's
not
so
my
cool.
own. Sometimes I wake up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning even, and I just wake up with these tunes in my head. I don't know where they come from, and I feel if I record them right away on my phone, then they stay. Otherwise, by the time I've woken up, they're gone.
So, but is it possible that you were thinking of a tune before you went to sleep?
No. They're completely fresh, and sometimes I even forget in the morning that I even did anything like that, if I even recorded anything. And a few days later, if I'll check my voice memos on my phone, I'll find this tune, and it won't seem like I've composed it.
Amazing. Jasleen's storytelling is real. It's fresh. It breathes. For her to say that tunes come to her in her dreams tells you how deeply she is connected to her art. An example of an artist actually living her dream.
And Rahul, I must tell you something about, it's been almost 3 years now that Polly and I were here in Kasauli, and we happened to compose a tune overnight. She wrote it, I composed it. The whole thing happened overnight.
Wow.
Overnight.
And it was by chance, or did you come here to compose?
It was coincidental. We just happened to be here. So I think being in a place like this is very inspiring.
And so you're here this time in the search for...
See, we thought this would be a good idea. Maybe inspiration would strike and maybe the same thing would happen again. I mean, the last time it was purely coincidental. We just happened to be here. But then that's the power of nature, you see. And this time we just thought we'd take a chance, and otherwise we'll just make a holiday out of it.
You know, that's amazing because, as you know, the show is called Genuine Stories.
Right.
And one of the prime reasons why I love doing this show is because it's about people who have something substantial to say. It's not just about style or hype or what other people are talking about that person or what's happening on social media. And it's also the process of these people arriving at their stories. If you don't mind, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and just sit and watch you guys compose, write, musically create a song. If it happens, I'd love to be a part of that. So
it would be an absolute honor for both Polly and me to have you there. Really.
Brilliant. So should we go and meet Polly?
Absolutely, should be delighted to meet you.
They say change unleashes an energy of its own. And for Jasleen, a change of scenery brings fresh inspiration. That, coupled with her love for the mountains, makes her choice of composing in Kasauli a no-brainer.
Hi, Mom. How's it going?
Oh, my
And
dear.
look who's here.
Hello.
Rahul.
Heard so much about you. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to...
It's such a pleasure for me to meet you. I never thought this moment would come.
Oh, no. Please, don't embarrass me. May I?
Yes.
Thanks. Jasleen and I were just taking a walk through the woods, so to speak. And I asked if I could be, and therefore we could be, privy to how you compose, how you work together. clearly you are writing something right now.
Yes.
And if you can talk us through how it would emerge.
This is a song about a traveler. The name is Chajju. He's a Punjabi character who's very fond of traveling. Comparing him with a Banjara, like a nomad who doesn't really like to stick to one place. ये है छज्जू द बंजारा जेदा दिल है आवारा एक थां नाए टिकदा सदा डोलदा फिरे एक थां नाए टिकदा means he doesn't like to linger in one place for too long. Sada dolda phire. He's always on the go.
Oh, faster, you said. The chugging we will have in the background, right? And the bell and the horn and everything. The whistle. Ye hai chhajju banjara. Like that? Ye hai chhajju banjara. Jeda dil hai avara. Ek thaan nae tikda sada dolda phire. And then going into like a Punjabi sort of, you know, something like maybe like a. Do you like that?
That's nice, yes. I feel like clapping with it.
Okay.
It's very nice.
The discovery of this piece of poetry in the kitab,
Yes.
in a way, has started your career.
It absolutely
And,
has.
but yet, in a very strange way, it's created a career for you too.
That's right, yes.
In a manner of speaking, you are a co-careerist with your daughter because both careers sort of started at the same
They
time.
really did.
But today, you not only write for yourself, but you also write for your daughter.
Yes, and I do enjoy that because I feel that she brings life to my words.
Are you close to finishing either this one or any other song which we could listen to you perform?
And that would be very nice. We are close to finishing Chajju.
Oh, this one.
And I think we should
So you're
have a
happy with where
special-
it's going
yes,
then?
I'm
You
sure.
reckon we'll be able to?
Oh yes, we should.
Uh-huh.
We should have a special performance just for Rahul. That would be very nice, no?
That would
Of
be
course, absolutely. Thank you, Jasleen. Polly, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure meeting
Pleasure's
you.
mine.
Such
Please, please.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've loved spending time with Polly and Jasleen. They share a camaraderie, a kindred creative spirit, and a touching belief in each other. This is the reason that I love being a part of Genuine Stories. I experience new art and new directions, rooted in the timeless qualities of hard work and dedication.
ਇਹ ਹੈ ਛੱਜੂ ਬੰਜਾਰਾ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਹੈ ਆਵਾਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਥਾਂ ਨਾ ਏ ਟਿਕਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਡੋਲਦਾ ਫਿਰੇ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਛੱਜੂ ਬੰਜਾਰਾ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਹੈ ਆਵਾਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਥਾਂ ਨਾ ਏ ਟਿਕਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਡੋਲਦਾ ਫਿਰੇ ਮੁੜ ਕਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਰਤੇ ਸਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਗੱਲ ਆਖੇ ਸਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਗੱਲ ਆਖੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਹੋ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਦਾ ਚਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਲੁਤਫ ਹੀ ਨਿਆਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਦੇ ਚਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਬਲਕ ਨਾ ਬੁਖਾਰੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਦਾ ਚਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਲੁਤਫ ਹੀ ਨਿਆਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਦੇ ਚਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਬਲਕ ਨਾ ਬੁਖਾਰੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੇ ਆਖੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਮੁੜ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਚੱਲ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਆਖੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਮੁੜ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਮੁੜ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ Take it away, Sukhrit.
ਹਰ ਆਦਮੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਛੱਜੂ ਸਦਾ ਵਸੇ ਕਰ ਟਿਕਣ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਦੇਵੇ ਕਰ ਮੋੜ ਵੀ ਲਿਆਵੇ ਹਰ ਆਦਮੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਛੱਜੂ ਸਦਾ ਵਸੇ ਕਰ ਟਿਕਣ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਦੇਵੇ ਕਰ ਮੋੜ ਵੀ ਲਿਆਵੇ ਮੁੜ ਕਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਰਤੇ ਸਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਗੱਲ ਆਖੇ ਸਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਗੱਲ ਆਖੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਦਾ ਚਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਲੁਤਫ ਹੀ ਨਿਆਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਦੇ ਚਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਬਲਖ ਨਾ ਬੁਖਾਰ ਛੱਜੂ ਦਾ ਚਬਾਰਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਲੁਤਫ ਹੀ ਨਿਆਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਛੱਜੂ ਦੇ ਚਬਾਰੇ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਬਲਖ ਨਾ ਬੁਖਾਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੇ ਆਖੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਮੁੜ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਚੱਲ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ everyone join in ਆਖੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਮੁੜ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਚੱਲ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ
You know when a piece of art has really affected you, when you feel something shift inside of you. That's what Jasleen's music does. You can feel it. You can hear her voice long after she stops singing. On Teachers Genuine Stories, I hope to keep bringing you more such artists and their work. I will see you next week.
ਆਖੇ ਛੱਜੂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਮੁੜ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਚੱਲ ਛੱਜੂ ਚੱਲ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲੀਏ ਆਖੇ ਛੱਜੂ